The final week of the legislative session, a bill to prevent Kentucky colleges and universities from banning guns on campus is moving forward.
State Representative Savannah Maddox, a Republican from Northern Kentucky, proposed House Bill 542. Today we learned that it would keep colleges and universities from preventing anyone over the age of 21 from carrying a concealed weapon on campus. WKYT's Grayson Passmore has talked to some students on UK's campus about the bill.
It's currently forbidden, but under a new proposal, anyone over the age of 21 would be allowed to carry a gun on a college and university campus in Kentucky.
Banning firearms on campus is clearly not a deterrent for those who would willingly harm others, yet it ensures that innocent victims are defenseless in the face of the unthinkable.
Republican Representative Savannah Maddox presented this version of House Bill 542 to the House Committee on Veterans, Military Affairs, and Public Protection Tuesday morning, where it passed along party lines. As Maddox explains, the bill would not allow public colleges and universities to ban guns on their campuses. Maddox citing the Michigan State University shooting as one reason to lift the ban on guns. 3 weeks ago, 3 students were killed and 5 others were injured when a gunman opened fire on campus.
But it's impossible to fight when your own institution of higher learning has rendered you utterly defenseless.
But students here on UK's campus say they think the potential legislation is worrisome and almost scary.
Guns should not be on a college campus because not after the Michigan State shooting, I felt very uncomfortable just walking to class.
Publicly opposing the bill, a UK spokesperson said in a statement, quote, "Our law enforcement, safety, and health officials are unequivocal in their belief that allowing guns on campus will make our community less safe."
I mean, people get drunk on campus all the time. In the dorms across from me, people get drunk. So if you have a gun mixed in with that, people make silly decisions, and silly decisions with something that can take someone's life is a terrible decision.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The legal counsel for the Council on Post-Secondary Education says college presidents and campus police chiefs across the state oppose the bill and have made the choice to be gun-free zones. The bill was sent to the House floor for a vote.